banality about sexual violence in our community. I was raped inside Parliament House by a colleague, and for so long it felt like the people around me only cared because of where it happened and what it might mean for them. And suddenly they'd treated me differently. I wasn't a person who'd just gone through a life-changing traumatic event. I was a political problem.
Thousands of people came and stood outside Parliament House today, wanting to be heard.
My story was on the front page for the sole reason that it is a painful reminder to women that if it can happen in Parliament House, it can truly happen anywhere.
Inside Parliament, it was the people who didn't turn up who were the most conspicuous.
The Attorney-General today will be represented by the Minister for Home Affairs.
And the people who weren't prepared to come outside and meet the crowd.
Well, I haven't had a habit of going out to any marches when they've come to Canberra side, because as Prime Minister, when you're in Canberra, it's a very busy day.
Not so much a tin air as a wall of concrete.
The Prime Minister offered a meeting inside, which the protest organisers declined, though some government members did head outside.
Well, this is a really important issue for all women across Australia. This is obviously a multi-party issue of which we're all concerned. I'm disappointed the organisers have decided not to meet with the Prime Minister and the Minister for Women. It was a really unique opportunity, so that's a bit disappointing. I do hope they change their mind.
It is good and right, Mr Speaker, that so many are able to gather here in this way, whether in our capital or elsewhere, and to do so peacefully to express their concerns and their very genuine and real frustrations. This is a vibrant Liberal democracy, Mr Speaker. Not far from here, such marches, even now, are being met with bullets, but not here in this country, Mr Speaker.
But the Prime Minister's business-as-usual tone seemed particularly tone-deaf in the face of what was happening in cities and towns all over Australia.
There's a lot of staff that are here already. Yeah, absolutely open to anyone to come today.
And that's running until 2 o'clock. Although there is this bill that's just on now.
In her office, Green Senator Sarah Hanson-Young was getting ready for a big day. And for her, the absences of those inside the building and the crowd outside were completely connected.
I've had so many emails and phone calls and lots of contact online. Yeah. People wanted us to come back and really have their voice heard back here in the building. So while the rally is going to be amazing and fantastic outside to kind of really lift that demand, we have to think about what we're going to do within the walls of the building and within the chamber.
But questions about exactly what should be brought into the chamber are complex. The Green senator is one of the 3 politicians who received the original dossier containing historical rape allegations against the Attorney-General dating back to 1988, which he strongly denies.
Some people are asking about whether I would table that. I feel deeply uncomfortable about that. I think it's, I've read it so many times. I think we have to be really conscious that when we're dealing with an issue like this, that this is somebody's life.
That's now made more complicated by news that Christian Porter is taking defamation action against the ABC and journalist Louise Milligan over stories which Mr Porter says contained false allegations against him in relation to a person who he met when he was a teenager. A statement from his lawyer said the defamation action meant the trial by media should now end with the commencement of these proceedings. Mr Porter's move also appears to kill off the chances of an independent inquiry into the allegations. Today's slump in the government Standing and News poll shows the political fallout from the shocking allegations of sexual assault that have dominated federal politics for the past month, but also from the Prime Minister's political mishandling of the issue. There had been some hope that the half-price holidays announced last week, plus the apparently successful management of COVID-19, would stand the government in good stead. But the imagery today of senior ministers holed up inside Parliament House, unprepared to come out and meet thousands of protesters, will do nothing to improve the mood. The political agenda all seems so outside the PM's control, and so much of it has been driven by these 2 young women.
We fundamentally recognise the system is broken. The glass ceiling is still in place, and there are significant failings in the power structures within our institutions.
The answer is plain and simple. Silence. Evil thrives in silence.
Forget about the political management. Just listen to what they're saying and then act, because we are in a position to act.
Labor faces its own allegations of mistreatment about women, which surfaced through a private Facebook group for current and former staffers.
I would certainly be more than willing to listen, and am now publicly saying it, what we've said privately, which is always available to deal with these issues. I wasn't aware of a couple of issues. I was aware of an issue last year that was dealt with to the satisfaction of the woman involved.
Labor's ANIKA Wells is the youngest woman in the House of Representatives.
I saw those stories in our Facebook group yesterday. What most of those women wanted was to be freed from keeping those secrets, and as a Labor parliamentarian I want them to know that we don't want them to keep those secrets anymore. It's time to clean house. What people want and what justice looks like is different for everyone. So for some people that might be a criminal process, for some people that might be confiding in the Jenkins inquiry process.
That's the inquiry by Sex Discrimination Commissioner Kate Jenkins, which will hear directly from staffers in Parliament House, and that's going to hear from people from all sides of politics. For the government, it remains unclear how anything it did today addresses the anger that brought so many thousands of people into the streets.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.